Good morning. Africa, we need a king, or we need to unite ourselves into a kingdom. Because I've grown up in different cultural groups or cultural kingdoms. Like, for example, I grew up in Toro Kingdom. My O level, I finished it in Bunyoro Kingdom, and my university level in the Buganda Kingdom. Therefore, I've been trying to study the behaviors of Ugandans, and I know it is more general when you see the kingdoms in Nigeria, the kingdoms in South Africa, and all other kingdoms in Africa. People of Africa tend to respect their cultural leaders more than presidents, simply because it is part of them to be led by a king, to be having a leader, to be having a sovereign leader, whom they believe that even is more of a religious leader. Traditionally or historically, Africa is known for her civilization through kingdoms, like the kingdom in Egypt. Civilization, even the first university, like Moses studied in Pharaoh's residence, there was a university. Moses studied how to write and read because he lived in Egypt. And that's where I got skills of writing the Deuterocanonical books. Kingship and kingdoms in Africa has been part of Africa. Therefore, there is no way you can unite Africans using a foreign idea like democracy, that you will unite Africans, because it is not part of them. Africans respect their cultural leaders, respect their kings. Therefore, to unite Africa, there must be a king to bring identity, a king to bring that unity. Let's see the example of democracy. Democracy, yes, has been in action, but in European countries, like America, what is it doing? Currently, America has been a superpower country, but now it is being destroyed and it will collapse simply because of democracy. Democracy brings that freedom to the extent that people decide on their moral freedom, and they end up being taken up by their instincts, which we may call moral decay. Take an example. What are the behaviors being taking place in those democratic countries where people cannot be talked about, where people they know they can choose you as a leader? They do anything, and it is destroying humanity completely. And when it came to Africans, it is totally a strange idea. Like, we welcome democracy as a kind of electing our leaders freely, but if you see even the people we elect, we can't respect them, because we know that we have power over those people and we can't respect them. We abuse our leaders. Why do we abuse our leaders? And in turn, instead of our leaders to work on the principles of democracy, they tend to bring in the issue of monarchy. They overstay in power. Why do they overstay in power? Because democracy is not part of them. They come disguising as democrats after they become kings, which in turn people already knows that we can choose you. That is bringing confusion. That's why Socrates had to discard this issue of democracy. He said Africa, or he said democracy, people need to first study how to vote. They should first get the information on how to vote. It's not the birthright that everybody should vote. Because some of us will vote out of our desires. Like people bring the packet of sugar. I will give you. Because people, Africans, we are still hungry of material things. And we end up misleading. And politicians are enjoying it as a game, which has made politics to be monetarized. Without money, you can't be a politician, which is not the case of democracy. Democracy should be the rule for the people, by the people, for the people. Now, if it is the rule for the people, by the people, which means it's like you have a driver, but we can all become drivers. Can you imagine? In the vehicle or in the bus, there should be only one driver, and nobody should tell a driver. Even it is even abstracting a driver. When the driver is driving, nobody should talk about him. That's why in Africa, a driver is put in a special place, not to be distracted. But if you find in the bus, all of them, they know themselves as the drivers, then there will be confusion. That will be accident. Africa, we are in a total accident of politics until we go back to our real originality, our real politics. Our real politics is kingship, is monarchical. Having one sovereign ruler. And if we can get a king who is the sovereign and can unite, even we can decide to make him a constitutional king. But when we have a king who is able to bring that identity, to bring the kingdom of Africa, I've never heard of somebody talking about it. There is no way we can unite Africans. All our presidents need to cocoon themselves in their small countries. They are using the advantage of colonialism to benefit. Since it was a divide and rule, they are also dividing and rule up to now. They don't want to unite. And if you can see, great kingdoms have developed their countries because they united and they formed one kingdom. See Britain, Great Britain. See United Kingdoms. See United Arab Emirates. All of them, they united and formed the kingdom. Africans, you should wake up and make your own kingdom. We should have identity. We should have our culture. We should have our economy. We should have our currency. We should have... Why should we keep on dividing ourselves? We keep on saying Pan-African is Pan-African. Will it be a song? Since Nkrumah talking about it, people have come on talking about it. Shall we keep on talking about it? Let's unite. Let's think of how we can help our people. Let's unite. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.